What would happen if former President Trump was reelected and we had another and became President Trump again? What would happen to any of these federal cases and the state case that's outstanding in Georgia?
So, as the president, whether or not Donald Trump has the power to end these investigations or end these cases against him and essentially pardon himself, I believe that's what he would do. Whether or not he has the full power to do that, it's slightly an unsettled issue. Presidents do have generally broad pardon power. For example, if current President Joe Biden's son was convicted, it's clear that he would have the power to pardon him. Whether or not the president has the power to pardon themselves is a slightly different question, but that's what I imagine would happen. Former President Trump would likely put an end to these cases. As for the state case, given that it's a state case and not a federal case, that also remains an unsettled question whether he could effectively end that by pardoning himself as president. I imagine that's what he would invoke, and the White House will have a legal team that will support that and say, this is proper, he can do it, he should do it, and there's precedent for it. But a president pardoning himself has not happened before, so it is an unsettled issue, even though presidential pardon power is widely recognized and it is powerful.
Well, much of the legal machinations that we've been watching have been unprecedented, and Special Counsel Jack Smith has significant challenges ahead of him, but he's been dogged in pursuing these cases. Jon-Jorge, would you like to handicap what you think is going to happen, or we can end on that? Or do you have any other thoughts?
I'd be happy to. I think that in both cases, he is facing an uphill battle. It's never good to be on the back foot as he's on now. He had his original indictment. The Supreme Court came in and gave a lot of presidential powers acting in their official capacity. There are now numerous arguments that the defense team can draw on. And just from a public perspective, right? From looking at the case from a public perspective, it's lost a lot of steam. It doesn't feel like the same case that it was before. And that goes for the document case as well. It's never a good position when you're litigating a case to have already lost so early on that now you're on the back foot, you're appealing really just to get back to square one, right? These are not the arguments. This is not evidence. This isn't presenting a case. This is, hey, I should be allowed to have a case, period, right? I should be allowed to do that right out of the gates. So I do think that he's in a difficult position, but he has shown, as you stated, that he is willing to keep churning and he's going to keep pressing forward on them and not give up on these cases. So former President Trump and his defense team can't rest on their laurels. They have to push forward in both these jurisdictions.
We will see who becomes the real comeback kid in this scenario, whether it's special counsel or if former President Trump ultimately prevails. And right now, though, these legal cases are taking a little bit of a backseat to the political campaign. So that is going on, and we'll still be watching. And of course, Jon-Jorge, I hope you join us again soon for legal analysis.
I'd love to. Thank you so much.